Welcome to In 5 Minutes. In this video, we are going to see the concept of virtual memories. So first of all, we need to understand what is the address space of a processor. The address space of a processor is given by the maximum memory size which can be accessed by the address line of a processor. So if the address line of a processor is of 32 bits, then it can access 2 raised to 32 memory through it. So the address space for 32-bit processor is going to be 4 gigabytes. In practice, however, the physical main memory that is present for the processor is much less than the address space of a processor, which leads to the inefficient use of address space. So to avoid this situation, the secondary storage devices are used to utilize the complete address space of a processor. So along with the main memory and connected to the CPU, the secondary storage devices are used. Now, when a particular program or the data associated with a particular program cannot fit into the main memory, it is stored entirely in the secondary storage memory. However, the active parts of the program or the active parts of the data are placed into the main memory so that they can be operated upon by the CPU. Now, whenever the data is needed for the execution and which is not present in the main memory, it is brought into the main memory from the external storage. So this is how we are operating with the secondary storage memories. Now the situation is somewhat similar to that of cache memories. Instead of cache memory, we have the main memories, and in place of main memories, we are now having secondary storage devices. So, but here we are trying to expand the address space instead of increasing the speed. So that is the major difference between these two concepts. So now we want our program to run independent of the limitations given by the physical main memory of a processor. So the virtual memory techniques are used to achieve this objective, and they involve automatically moving program and data blocks into the main memory. Now the most important issue in having a secondary storage devices is that how the processor is going to access them, and how the addresses are assigned to the secondary memory. So the virtual address is the concept we want to understand here. Now, in the concept of virtual memory, the addresses which are given by the processor are independent of physical memory size. So even if the physical memory is smaller, the processor can issue the addresses which are greater than the size of the physical memory. So that is what we want to achieve here. So this is the key concept in the virtual memory, that the processor is led to believe that it is addressing larger memory space than that of physical memory. This is achieved by the virtual address or a logical address. So processor is going to have a address, any address in the virtual address space that it has, and it is later translated into the physical address so that the memory is accessed. So to understand the operation of virtual memories, let's see the flowchart of virtual memory operation. So the CPU issues a virtual address. Now this is the logical address which is independent of the physical memory. Now then the address translation takes place. Now this is done using different techniques which we are going to study later. After address translation is done, we have to check whether that address is present in the main memory or not. If the address is present in the main memory, then the data is accessed and the operation is complete. However, if the data is not present in the main memory, then data is brought into the main memory from the secondary storage devices. Now this is done using generally the DMA transfer, which is the fast memory transfer available between the memory and secondary devices. After the data is brought, the data is accessed and the process is complete. So now let's quickly look at the organization of the virtual memory. So it has processor, then it has memory management unit. The processor issues the virtual address to memory management unit, MMU. It is used for the address translation. It generates the physical address. Then it is accessed to the main memory. If the data is present, then the data is fetched to the processor. If the data is not present, then main memory communicates with the secondary data storage, and the data transfer is performed using DMA techniques. And this is how, and after the data is, the entire data block is placed in the main memory, it is fetched by the processor. So this is how the organization of virtual memory. So we have seen the basic working and organization of virtual memories. In the next videos, we are going to focus on address translation and how it is done. So please stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.